welcome back to another unboxing. So I've got supply drop number 32 right in front of me. Look, do you like tactical stuff? Do you like products that make your everyday life more useful? Do you like products that may or may not save your life someday? Do you like sharp objects, specifically knives? If you answered yes to one or more of those questions, then you should probably be a member of the Crate Club community. We send out boxes that look just like this, we call them crates, to your front door every single month, and inside this crate is a bunch of cool stuff that I know you will appreciate. Stick around, check out what we have to offer, and if you like what you see inside this crate, then consider subscribing. There are 4 ways to join our community. We have the lieutenant, the captain, the major, and the general. Those first 3, the lieutenant, captain, and major, are month-to-month options, meaning it's gonna show up at your door every single month. This right here is the major, so it's our biggest month-to-month option. And if you really wanna go big or go home, then you can go for the general, which is a 4-time per year box, once per quarter, and it's where we cram the most amount of stuff into one singular box. In fact, the box last month was so big that we couldn't even put the green branding on it. It was like freight-sized box. But nonetheless, my name is Austin. This is supply drop number 32. Let's get started. So do we have some goodies for you this month? I think about the order in which I present these things, because if I pick the wrong item to show you first, you're just gonna go click away. You're gonna be like, man, this video is not even worth watching. I don't care about what's inside that box. I'm just gonna go on and do something else. So the first item I'm gonna show you might actually blow your mind a little bit. It's a self-inflating camping pillow. Check it out. The Pennypacker Luxury Camping Pillow. Upgrade your outdoor adventures and everyday comfort with this luxurious, self-inflating camping pillow. Simply unroll it, open the valve, and let the pillow do the work. Within minutes, you'll have a 4-inch thick pillow that will elevate your outdoor experience. Simply adjust the amount of air inside the pillow to manipulate both the thickness and the firmness of the pillow. Within the polyester walls of this pillow is a hybrid foam that creates a true, real pillow feel with incredible support. Furthermore, the Pennypacker pillow features one soft side to comfort your head and a non-slip side that will prevent unwanted sliding on most camping mattresses. Pennypacker pillow, Pennypacker pillow, Pennypacker pillow. That's like one of those vocal warm-up things you do if you're a singer or a performing arts enthusiast. So check this bad boy out. Self-inflating. It actually works, and I'm gonna show you that it works. So you can unroll this, and you have, it's like it's deflated right now, obviously, and so you have one small valve here on the side. On the valve it says, to lock, push, to open, pull. So we're going to open this thing. Oh, just like that. You hear it? You hear that? All right, so it's going. She's inflating. It's not gonna inflate at the speed of light. It's not like a magical thing, but look, she's going. Can you see that? It is half inflated right now. As the air works its way throughout the pillow, you're gonna have a self-inflated pillow. And it's just nice, it's convenient because you don't have to blow it up yourself and waste any of that precious oxygen that you have stored inside your lungs. You know, I've said this a million times, I'm former active duty. I served in the United States Army for a few years, and I've had my fair share of field exercise experiences where I did not have a pillow to sleep on. In fact, I have a distinct memory towards the end of basic training where I slept on a rock. I used a rock as a pillow. It kept my head elevated, it was better than nothing, but after that experience, I actually just went with nothing. I got very used to sleeping without a pillow after that experience. But having one is nice. There's no need to be miserable under camping. Being in the Army and going camping are 2 very different experiences. When you're camping, you actually have the freedom to have a little bit of luxury. Be comfortable, you know what I mean? Pack something like the Pennypacker pillow. And here you go. In no time, this thing is fully inflated. You could give it a little extra boost if you wanted, just to accelerate the process. But after it's full, simply close it and you have a whole pillow here. So the green side is the side that is meant for your face. It is very soft and it's very like relaxing when you put your face on it. And then the other side has this anti-slip surface so that when you put it onto a sleeping bag or maybe a tent floor, it's not gonna go sliding around. And it doesn't create a bunch of that crunchy, slippery sleeping bag noise that tends to occur. You know what I'm talking about? That noise. This side doesn't really do that as much, which I like a lot. Very comfortable. I mean, having a pillow, like you just don't think about how convenient it has. You don't think about how comfortable it is to have a pillow until you currently have no pillow. So I'm a big fan of this. It's a cool option and it does blow up to, you know, however much thickness you want. You could overinflate it if you need some additional cushion, or you could pull some of the air out, have it sort of half inflated or 3/4 inflated, whatever your preference is. But pillows are great. I think you should have one. Next time you decide to go sleeping on the forest floor, you're gonna be comfortable because you have the Pennypacker pillow. Super cool option. And of course, to deflate this thing, you just pop the valve again. Yeah, and you can roll it out. Watch me do it live. I feel like with a lot of camping materials as well, they never go back into the compartment that they're supposed to go into, but this one actually rolls up and stores back into its bag with room to spare, might I say. That was very easy. That's a great product. 10 out of 10 recommend from Fast Brook Company. Very nice. Okay, also on your next camping trip, I have another product for you that I promise you will need in the event that it rains. The Rocket Gator Ultra Light Dry Bag. The Rocket Gator Ultralight bags are the perfect waterproof dry bags for those who emphasize weight reduction while preparing for adventure. These 15-liter dry bags are perfect for camping, backpacking, fishing, or any other situation where lightweight gear is essential. You can stuff these dry bags with clothes, food, medical equipment, electronics, or any other item that needs to stay dry while you're on the go. Weighing in at just 4.6 ounces, an empty dry bag can easily be stowed away without taking up any significant space or adding unnecessary weight to your pack. Here it is. And this is not what it's gonna look like when it shows up in your box. It's gonna come in like a little plastic bag, but this is how it can be stowed. 4.6 ounces is nothing. You could throw this in your backpack and forget that it's there. But I cannot emphasize the value of having a dry bag in your camping, with your camping gear, or if you're active duty while going on a field exercise. We used to call them wet weather bags because they were really useful in the event of wet weather, also known as rain. So this thing actually unrolls. You can unclip it, unroll it. You have 15 liters of space here. Check this bad boy out. That's a lot of space. So you can throw your materials on the inside and they're gonna stay dry. I can't tell you how good it feels after 3, 4, 5 days of sweating and getting rained on and just being gross, and then pulling out a fresh set of OCPs or a fresh set of uniforms, whatever it is, right? You pull out a fresh pair of socks, dry underwear, dry t-shirt, you feel like a whole new human being. It's phenomenal. It's an experience that I wish everyone could experience at least once in their lives, but I totally understand if you're not the type to get trapped outside for 4 or 5 days at a time and not go showering or bathing. But I've been there, and a lot of us have. Rocket Gator makes some very, very high-end products. Like, they're really known for their backpacks and outdoor gear, specifically when it comes to water resistance. Of course, the seams here are welded. They're not sewn, meaning that you're gonna have a good seal. There's no risk of any sort of unnecessary or unwanted leakage here. But this is a huge bag. Like, you want dry food, you want dry clothes, you want dry medical gear, anything that you don't want to risk getting damp on your next camping trip or field exercise, you're gonna wanna throw it in here. Maybe your pillow. You don't want your pillow to get wet, throw it in here. It's genius, right? So whenever you fill it up, here's an example, right? The way we used to do these things, throw your items in there, push out the air, and then you're gonna start rolling it from the top. And once you get it all rolled down, simply buckle it, and you're good to go. There, now my Pimmy Packer pillow is perfectly safe inside of my Rocket Gator Ultralight dry bag. It's like the stuff was meant to go together. It's like we plan ahead for what goes in the crate, and then goes to your front door, and then you take it with you out to the wilderness and have fun with your friends. It's all part of the plan. Moving on. Ooh. We're gonna stick with the camping theme. Not everything we send out is always camping related, but we understand that people who are in sort of the tactical world, that care about EDC and they care about readiness, camping supplies goes hand in hand with that sort of mentality and that sort of lifestyle. So I'm gonna show you one other very camping specific item, and then we're gonna move on. The Überleben Tender TP 3-pack. Whether keeping warm, preparing food, warding off predators, or being used as a communication signal, the ability to create a fire is an essential survival skill. As a way of adding to your fire-making repertoire, we've offered you the Überleben Tender TP. These super unique, one-time use fire starters will burn for up to 3 minutes, giving you plenty of time to get your fire going. Laser cut from sustainable Baltic birch, these super aesthetic 4-panel TPs are essentially small functional works of art. Man, between Pimmy Packer pillow and Überleben Tender TP, Pimmy Packer pillow, Überleben Tender TP. Here's your Überleben Tender TP. So you actually have 3 of these bad boys inside of here. Once you open it up, you'll notice that you have your little birch cutouts. These things are laser cut, so they always fit together really nicely. And after you pull out one of them and assemble it, this is what you get. I told you, it's like a little work of art, right? Smells really good. It smells like it should be set on fire, if that makes any sense. So yeah, it's birch. It's very, very light. You can assemble it in like 60 seconds or less. It's super easy. And then once you get your little TP set up, you're gonna set it in your fire pit or wherever you plan to start a fire. And then you actually have a small dangler here on the inside. You see that guy? That little flame-shaped image. That dangler serves as where you're gonna start your fire. So you can use a rope or a lighter, whatever you wanna use. You simply insert it through one of the holes in the teepee, light the dangler, and then the dangler lights up the entire teepee. Like we said, you got about 3 minutes of burn time, which is plenty for you to start stacking on additional twigs and leaves, whatever it is, to get your fire going. One-time use. Once it burns, you don't get it back, and there's 3 teepees in here, so use them wisely. Super cool little unique item, right? I lit one on fire. This one's definitely gonna be going in my bug out bag and camping supplies. I think I might keep this one as like a little desk ornament. Does that make any sense? Does that make my desk now like a fire starter? That's a bad idea, but it smells so good. All right, we're moving on. Sasquatch Tea Company Black Tea. Sasquatch Tea Company was created in Fort Wayne, Indiana by 2 brothers-in-law. Blake and Tom founded Sasquatch Tea Company, a brand that screams patriotism and focuses on true American values. Here today, we are featuring their famous Kings Canyon Cream Black Tea. Amongst a wide variety of teas that Sasquatch offers, they've dubbed this blend the Creme de la Creme. Named after Kings Canyon National Park, this family favorite is a traditional black tea that offers hints of vanilla and a subtle cream finish. Look, I know if you signed up for like a tactical readiness box, you probably were not expecting to get tea in there, but hear me out. Look, if you like caffeine, which many of us do, if you like American-made products, which many of us do, and if you like supporting veteran-owned organizations, which many of us do, then I think you'll like this product. And this is real tea. This is like, I'm not gonna pretend that I'm a tea connoisseur, but my wife and I have been sipping on tea for a few years now. And we're like the kinds that'll go into like a local tea shop and then talk with the baristas and get their feedback on like local brews and blends and leaves. I know a few things, but I'm not an expert. That being said, when this first showed up at my front door, we went through the entire canister within like a week or 2. My wife and I love this stuff. A couple things to note here. It is caffeinated. Depending on how strong you brew it, how long you steep the tea in your hot water, you're gonna get around 40 milligrams of caffeine. That's not a lot, but it's more than 0. You know, the average cup of coffee, you might be getting 100, 150 milligrams of caffeine. If you go get like a venti from Starbucks, you could get 250, 300 milligrams of caffeine, which is like way too much in my opinion. But 40 milligrams of caffeine is enough for someone who might be more caffeine sensitive, or you're just looking for a little afternoon pick-me-up and you're not trying to be like totally cracked out. So when you brew this stuff, you want to get boiling water. This says 205 degrees Fahrenheit. Boiling's what? I used to know this. 210, 220, 212. God, the internet's gonna roast me for that one. Water boils at 212. Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius, I know that. I wanna say it boils at like 212. Anyway, so once your tea kettle has boiling water, you're gonna pull it off, give it like 30 seconds to stop boiling. You should be around 205, which is recommended for this tea. And then you just begin steeping your tea. So inside here, you have 20 premium tea sachets. I like that these come in a metal sachet. If you look, that is a very, very fine mesh metal sachet. And essentially why they opt for that over like the standard paper ones you'd see with like Lipton tea from Walmart. Sometimes those papery ones can actually yield a little bit of a papery flavor. Some people pick up on it, some people don't. This is gonna offer a much more tea pure flavor experience. Give this a sniff. I guess I'm just sniffing stuff today. I was over there huffing the birch teepees and now I'm huffing the tea, but it smells so good and it tastes like it smells. There's a lot of teas and coffees out there that smell one way and they taste like completely different. This is a true vanilla flavor and it is a very creamy scent and creamy flavor without even actually adding cream or half and half to your tea. Look, man, it's phenomenal. Go read about these guys. Go read about, was it Tom and Blake, veteran founded. Kings Canyon is the creme de la creme of our teas. Yeah, you gotta go check these guys out. I mean, if you just look at the packaging here, tea for the bold, America's tea, tea for the adventurer. It's almost like the Black Rifle Coffee Company of teas. So I'm a big fan of these guys. I'm a big fan of the product. I hope that you guys like appreciate it and recognize that we kind of ventured out a little bit. It's a non-standard product. Look, it's not a knife, it's not a multi-tool, it's not a Penny Packer pillow, but it's a great product from a great brand owned by some great dudes. Check it out. I hope you enjoy it and you find some time to sit down and sip on some tea. All right, now for the tactical stuff. If the tea wasn't hardcore enough for you, which I don't know how tea couldn't possibly be the most hardcore thing you experienced today, I do have not one but 2 knives to show you today, starting with a Spyderco. The Spyderco Persistence. Looking for another EDC or a tactical addition to your current collection? Meet the Spyderco Persistence. Designed specifically for tactical end users, this completely blacked out folder is the epitome of a no-nonsense EDC knife. Featuring a black 8CR13 MOV blade, black bidirectional textured FRN scales, and black hardware, there is zero risk of this blade causing any sort of light reflection or unwanted attention. The pocket clip can be positioned in 4 different locations on the handle, giving the user plenty of carry options. Furthermore, this knife comes in at just 3.3 ounces or 94 grams, making it extremely easy to carry without any noticeably added weight to your pocket or bag. Here we go. Spyderco, man. That's one of those brand names that when you mention, people are like, yeah, I trust it, like right out of the box. Of course, you know, they got good packaging. They're gonna give you a little sticker here, and then here is your Spyderco persistence. That's as good as it gets. Look, it's not high end. It's not a ridiculous $500 or $600 blade, but this can keep up with the majority of them. I love Spyderco. A lot of people do. They just know what they're doing. It's, like we said, no nonsense. It's everything you need and nothing that you don't. Of course, it features the iconic Spyderco round hole there, which, you know, no flipper, no thumb stud. I think like the opening mechanisms with Spyderco is some of the most unique features that they offer. And it definitely requires a little bit of dexterity to get this thing open with just one hand. It's not hard, but it takes a little bit of practice, right? Like I said, no flipper on the back, no thumb stud. Simply use that round hole and your thumb and pop that bad boy open. It is black on black on black. And I like tactical stuff. I mean, some people like flashy items, to each his or her own, but I love the simplicity. I love that it's all black. I love that you have options for tip up or tip down, depending on where you place the pocket clip. And it's just simple. It's great. It looks good. It's gonna be useful. It's functional, and there's nothing about it that I don't dislike. Extremely lightweight, FRN scales, very, very iconic Spyderco. Like, I think if you were familiar with the brand, you would see this sitting on a table and be like, oh, that's a Spyderco. No mistaking it at all. Great blade. Now, if this is not your cup of tea, no pun intended, we have not one more blade to show you, but in fact, 14 more blades to show you. The Razorback folder. Having options is great. Having a variety of tools is also great, but there comes a point where you just have to select what's necessary. If you like to have a variety of options at your disposal, then this Razorback folder is perfect for you. With 14 total blades, not only do you have options, but you have backups for your options. What makes the Razorback special is its ability to quickly and easily change out its blades, giving the user a variety of alternative opportunities and possibilities. This pack of blades includes 3 drop point style blades for everyday knife chores, 1 serrated blade for ropes and other soft materials, 1 tanto blade, 2 seatbelt cutters / gut hook blades, 1 scraper blade, and 6 standard utility blades. With all these options, you can know with confidence that you have the right blade for the right job. Look, I don't think different is always better. I see a lot of brands that try to take unique approaches to solving problems that we already have good solutions for, but I will commend Razorback for producing something that I really haven't seen outside of like your standard disposable razor blades. So it comes in a soft case here, and inside of these two things are 13 additional blades. This is your actual Razorback blade. Looks like a standard folder, opens and performs like a standard folder. You have a thumb stud on the outside, you have a pocket clip that's gonna be a deep carry pocket clip. And then you have sort of this exposed exoskeleton vibe going on here with the knife itself. Looks great, feels great, super functional, jimping on the back, no complaints whatsoever. Now what makes this thing so cool and so unique is that the blade itself is removable. Check this out. So I can then remove the blade. Obviously this one is drop point style. And then I can go over here to my pack of extra blades and I have options. Options, 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 options. And guess what? There's not 1 extra pack of blades, but there's 2 extra packs of blades, and you've got options, 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 options. So much here. So much going on here. What I'm gonna do is remove that drop point style blade and replace it with one of these gut hooks here by simply placing it back into the knife. So there you go. And yes, it's really in there. It's not coming out. You can shake it and handle it however you like to. It is secured. So the way that you go about changing out your blades is actually with the thumb stud that you use to open the blade. So you're gonna be doing sort of a in and down sort of motion. So you depress the thumb stud and then push in the direction of the sharp side of the blade, right? And then you can remove it. It's so easy. And you can kind of see there, that little mechanism on the back deploying. That's part of the locking mechanism that's gonna secure the blades. Be very careful when doing this. High chance for cutting yourself. You can insert this without depressing the thumb stud. Personally, I have an easier time depressing it first and sort of retracting that locking mechanism, inserting the blade, releasing the thumb stud, and it's all locked in. It's good to go. It's different, and it's different in a useful way, I would argue. So Why would you want this? If you find yourself performing tasks that frequently ruin your blade edges, this is a great option. If you work with gunky, sticky materials, or if you just know that whatever you're about to be working on is going to completely destroy your blade, maybe you don't want to ruin your Spyderco or whatever expensive EDC you use just to flex on people. If you need a workhorse, this is going to be it. And when that blade wears out, you have 13 backups to replace it. I think it's a very unique approach. It's not something we've really ever seen before. Like, you've seen box cutters, it's the same concept, but then they applied it to an EDC folder. I'm a fan, I think it's cool. Super secure, no issues whatsoever. Use the thumb stud to deploy it, and you throw a new blade on there. It's as easy as that. And to put it back in, well, just like that, and it's in. I think the first time, it took a little practice, but I've gotten pretty quick with it now. It's a super unique blade, and the fact that we have all these backups means that I can have a lot of fun with it. And then obviously there's an element of customization. Maybe you just want to have that gut hook in there, or that seatbelt cutter, and then you keep the backup inside of the case as an alternative. So that's cool. Now I'm gonna put all of these blades back into the little container that it came from. Very nice and organized. I'm a drop point style fan myself. I just think it's aesthetically pleasing. It's very useful and can be used for a wide variety of tasks. But you have options here. Boom, get there. And then you can store all of your additional blades in the actual sheath here, right in back. It's actually a pretty nice little fabric sheath or pocket or little carrier here. And it's got a loop here if you wanted to stick it on your belt, whatever. You got options. So that was the Razorback. Now we've got one more item here. It's not gonna blow your socks off, but it's just one of those simple tools that I find so incredibly useful. And once I started utilizing one on a regular basis, there's no going back. And that's gonna be a headlamp. The Smith & Wesson Night Guard. The ability to see and be seen is invaluable. We believe that every prepper should have access to multiple transportable light sources, especially head-mounted variation. Introducing the ultra-compact, super bright RXP Night Guard headlamp by Smith & Wesson. The product is made with impact-resistant construction, is USB rechargeable, and contains smart dimming technology, meaning you can smoothly adjust the amount of light being emitted. This headlamp can run for over 16 hours on its lowest light setting and includes a removable 4-way clip for hats, straps, pockets, etc. Here we go. Smith & Wesson, I'm sure you've heard of that brand before. Well, they actually make headlamps, and that's exactly what we've offered you here today. We've featured headlamps in the past. You know, there's different variants of them. Most of them come fixed to a strap just like this. This is an elastic strap that goes right around your head. It's super soft, super comfortable. Can be adjusted to the size of your dome. And then all you have to do is thread it onto the headlamp itself to be used just like a standard headlamp. I think hands-free light is one of the most simple and convenient things that any prepper should have access to. And you don't have to be a doomsday prepper to need or want stuff like this. I live in coastal Georgia, and it rains a lot, and we get crushed by hurricanes pretty frequently, which means we also lose power pretty frequently. And I'm not gonna hold a flashlight in my mouth or walk around with one tucked behind my ear. I just strap one to my head and I carry on about my business like, you know, nothing has changed. But my favorite feature about this Smith & Wesson product is this little clip that it came with. So you won't need this clip if you decide to opt for the elastic headband. But what I think is a really cool approach is that you can pop this bad boy on and you can attach it to the bill of your cap. Once you put this onto the bill of your cap, super easy, super convenient. And the best part about it is that it's adjustable. You have multiple little points here. You can have it pointing directly ahead, or you could have it pointing more towards your feet. You have one button on top, and it's going to emit up to 340 lumens, I believe. Now, there in the description, we mentioned that there's a smart dimming technology. I'm gonna see if I can dim this. See how that dimmed? Now I'm gonna go back to brighter. So when you see that double flash there, that means you're at the highest or lowest setting. So you can stop anywhere you want to. Say this is too bright, I just want to dim it a little bit. You press and hold. And say that's good for me, this is all that I want. If you want to go back brighter again, you simply press and hold, and it's going to go back to its brightest setting as indicated by the double flash. It's easy, it's got one button, you can't mess it up. It's USB rechargeable, and it does come with a short little cord here that you can use to charge it. And it's just so dang convenient, man. You guys recognize this hat? We sent this out a few crates ago, and it has become my go-to tactical hat. It's become my go-to range hat as well. So I'm gonna turn that off so I can stop blinding you. And that's what this thing looks like, man. Super light. It's not gonna cause any sort of additional weight on the front of your hat, which could be super annoying and even cause a little bit of like fatigue with the muscles in the back of your neck. But when you want to deploy it, just pop that thing forward, push the power button, and you're live. It's so easy. It's so convenient. I'm a big fan of products like this. It's just easy and it makes sense. You're gonna use it. Again, even if you're not a prepper, you're not susceptible to inclement weather. Power outages can occur. Can you survive without a headlamp? Sure. Is it convenient to have one? Absolutely. And I feel like that's like a lot of what our products are. It doesn't have to be about life and death and survival mode and full Discovery Channel, Bear Grylls, whatever. It's just about convenience. Your life's not gonna depend on the Pemmy Packer pillow. But man, when you need a pillow and you've got one, it's just so convenient. A lot of this stuff, it just speaks to convenience. Especially my nice little tender teepee here. I can't get over this thing. Sniff yours. You don't have one because you're not part of the club, I'm sorry, but get your own. Sniff one, it's great. Okay, and that wraps up supply drop number 32. Bunch of cool stuff. We've got a lot more in the works. Very excited for some of the upcoming crates. There's some stuff that we've been working on with some brands for years on end. Some of these relationships that just take a long time to establish. You know, sometimes it's money and sometimes it's trust and sometimes it's just us negotiating the best price possible. There's a lot that goes into our crates. It's not just like, oh, okay, somebody wanted to offer us something cheap and it makes sense so we throw it in there. We really try to focus on quality. We focus on the reputation of the brands that are providing these goods, and then we think about the functionality of the products in the everyday life of the end user. And that's you people. So I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the unboxing. We're gonna be doing this every month going forward, just like we always have. If you haven't followed us on social media, we're active on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, the whole 9 yards. Come find us, shout us out, ask us questions, recommend products for the future. And again, if you're not already a member of the club, consider joining. That's all for now. We'll see you next time.